It's Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to the Podcrastinators. I'm Cam.
This is Connor, and we have a returning guest, fan favorite, the beloved, the national treasure of
The national treasure
of the podcast.
Thank you.
of
Yeah,
the
it's a lot. Of the
Podcrastinators.
Podcrastinators, the Jack.
Hello, I'm Jack Dunn, otherwise known as the national treasure of the world. Actually, I'm working my way up.
International treasure.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was genius.
So we watched National Treasure.
Yeah. If you didn't know.
Yeah, continuing our season for Nicolas Cage. And I do enjoy this movie. I think there's very few good treasure hunting movies out there. I mean, obviously Indiana Jones is the golden standard.
Mm-hmm.
But I think honestly, to be real frank, this is the only other one that I feel like has come close to that notoriety.
Notoriety and just like being actually, because like when you think of Uncharted and Tomb Raider, mainly like it's like, oh, member berries from me playing the video game, or like, oh, this Tomb Raider girl is pretty cute,
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot like with Nicolas Cage in this. It's a lot of like actual kind of history that like
I do really
ties that in.
I do really like how it's like a strictly American history.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that makes it really unique.
Well, I mean, it's one nation.
I was
One
gonna
nation's treasure.
say for the new National Treasure show, I hope they don't stray away from like the American history of it. I don't remember if the sequel is so like
The
sequel
sequel
they
is...
go into the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
they do.
and they
Okay.
do go into Mount Rushmore.
yeah, like that's
at the
cool.
end.
That's so cool.
Mhm.
Like no other. I mean, yeah, it's just a unique idea to focus just strictly on American history. I think
Mhm.
that's fun because it's not something that's focused on in any movie. Like there's always like the European treasure or the big pirate ship or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just like yes, the Liberty Bell.
I felt like that kind of was able to like draw me into it, I guess, was the fact that it was American history just a little bit, because I was like, oh, I'm a kid again learning about American history from Nicolas Cage.
I did learn, dude, the fucking Centennial Bell repled the Liberty Bell. I didn't know that. When they said that, I was like, I guess that makes sense that there would be another bell in there.
Yeah. They probably would replace that with another bell. I was also looking up like trivia from this movie, and apparently when they did all that stuff in Independence Hall, that was one of the first times they ever allowed filming in Independence Hall.
One of
That's
the
really
first, so
cool.
they've done it again.
Yeah, but like this movie, like I
That's
guess
neat, though.
like
That's-
broke the groundwork basically to
That's
like
sweet.
let people film in there.
I was thinking that like with the American history, American history is relatively short, especially on the grand scope of history,
Yeah, true.
and so I think it's a lot more tangible for us to like kind of grasp that. Like when you're
Mhm.
talking about Benjamin Franklin, you're like, I know who that is, like
Yeah.
just from the world's lexicon. Like I don't
Yeah.
have to. I don't know a bunch of old pharaohs. Like it's hard for me to get that personal connection there.
That's
Especially for like a Walt Disney kids movie as well.
Yeah.
Like it's good for kids.
True.
Good for
True.
kids to learn about American history.
true. Nick Cage was really good in this. I think he was the only good character.
Yeah,
Actually.
Nick Cage was really good.
Like-
Sean Bean wasn't bad, but he was just like evil guy.
Yeah,
because
he's
he's
just
evil,
generic.
wants it for money.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if we're being honest, and I said this when we were watching, he was way more impressive than Nicolas Cage. I mean,
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage was getting all the clues, and this other guy is
They
fucking
just-
right on his ass the
Yeah.
entire time
They
with
just
no
Googled
clues.
stuff. They're like, still, we have to go to Liberty Bell and go underneath.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, they figured that out pretty quick.
They just immediately knew.
Yep. I think it would be cool. I was thinking about this during the movie. I was like, wouldn't it be cool to have it like the protagonist is actually like a greedy person?
Mm.
Yeah, and then throughout the course of the movie, they learn that, the treasure, there's some history behind it. Like, the treasure's special. They shouldn't actually be.
No, but then he's like, or what if it's the opposite? He starts off like that. Then by the end, he's like, I'm taking all this
Like,
for myself.
I need it, and I've
Yeah.
spent millions of dollars trying to find this treasure.
Yeah.
It's mine now.
Yep.
That would be kind of crazy.
Yeah. I feel like that's a trope that's like it's a little flip on the
You'd
trope.
be subverted a little bit.
hmm
That's
a good writing idea.
interesting. Hey, nobody steal that idea.
Yeah, we're patenting it now.
I'm actually online right now, so don't worry. Lock in that patent.
Did you guys notice at the very, very beginning of the movie when the grandfather was like explaining the history of the treasure, and when he was like, it goes all the way back to Egyptian times, and then it like fades into Egypt, and then his eye stays on screen just a little bit longer above the pyramid as like the all-seeing eye.
I was probably right.
Yeah.
No,
That's funny.
That's really cool.
That was the first note I wrote.
Huh. I didn't notice that. That's clever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun movie. The comedy doesn't hit, but I think that's also
No.
because we're 15 years above the age demographic that this was made for.
Dude, the Riley character was so fucking annoying. He was like, I wrote in my notes, I was like, verging on Jar Jar levels of stupidity. Like, I
Yeah.
get that he's the comic relief character, but he was so fucking stupid.
He was the comic relief, but everybody just shat on him
The entire time.
The entire
And
time.
he
Just
was
shat
like
on
this
him.
supposed to be like the comic relief and the tech expert.
Yeah,
at
and there
the
was just
same time.
nothing like enjoyable about. Like towards the end, you're like, man, that character was kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that guy.
Charlotte was a ship. Oh my god. That
Yeah.
got me, man. That got me. I thought it was gonna be a babe.
No,
Yeah.
A babe.
A babe.
Babe.
I thought it was gonna be a painting of a babe.
it's
Well,
Charlotte.
the babe was on the front of the ship, on the map.
Yeah, and she blew up.
And she did blow up.
Yeah, sadly.
I don't think that they would have survived that explosion.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I
Not
would
at
have
all.
been exactly like that evil dude. Like, I don't need to look through this explosion for their
There was
body.
like, no, I was gonna say like 15 barrels, but there's probably a lot more barrels.
There's
Yeah.
so
Straight
many.
gunpowder.
The entire like.
And I like
hole.
how like when the flame dropped, it kind of like was like
Spark.
it kind of like sparked and it like went on a trail, and you're like, no, that place would have been
Yeah.
up in an instant.
Yeah.
Like that gunpowder just would have exploded on the spot. And then they're shooting guns in there, like
Yeah.
pow, pow, pow.
I liked how Nicolas Cage was like smart enough to throw it at Sean Bean so that he would catch it and it would light his glove on fire
Yeah.
because he
Mhm.
did pour the
Ben,
gunpowder on his
True.
glove.
With that, like a single spark got his glove to like immediately catch a fire, but then they dropped the entire fire stick
That's
and
a
it just
good
kind
point.
of slowly trickles across.
That is a good point.
They had a lot of time to first find the secret passageway underneath the ship, the smuggler's entrance, and then
Mhm.
run a while down that entrance and then
Yep.
close the door.
Yep. This is definitely I feel like I've watched this in school when I was younger. I feel like this movie's good enough to where like you can learn enough, like some shit. Like we
You
said
watch it in like
earlier.
a fourth grade class
Yeah,
or
it's like,
something.
it's like, oh, today it's movie day. We got pizza. Everybody's like, yay!
Or-
and they
or
watch
it's like
National Treasure.
the substitute, and that's what the teacher decided to do for the substitute. It's like, just put on National Treasure.
Yeah, American history.
I would learn more from that as a kid than fucking those documentaries they would bring in.
I would always
that was
fall asleep.
nap time, yeah.
I would always fall
That was
asleep.
nap time for Jack.
I remember one of our teachers, Mr. Best, would always get he was awesome, but he would always get so pissed off at me. Because anytime he would put on a video, it'd be like 2 minutes in and I'd be like passed out on my desk. And I wouldn't even like, because I like this classes
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, I'm trying hard to stay
and I'm
awake.
like, this is interesting, but I just could not.
Yeah.
Like, they'd start talking and they're like, and on the Silk Road, the carriage wheels slowly tumbled across the dark desert road, only to deliver a package of silk goods. And you're like, oh, fuck.
Ken Burns, your voice is so velvety, putting me to sleep.
Is that like the David Attenborough of like documentaries?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ken Burns has
Ken
like
Burns
a
is-
ton.
yeah, he's a wizard.
Really?
Yes.
Mhm.
Huh.
But also it didn't help that there was projectors, so they turned the lights off every time in the room. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's dark. I better go to bed.
Yep. Yep.
It did make me very interested in U.S. history.
Yeah, it didn't like.
I looked up things that was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah.
You guys want?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of something I learned, you want to know what Valley Forge is?
Oh yes,
I
yeah.
was gonna.
Okay, so in the movie, when they're going down to steal the Declaration of Independence, they're trying to figure out her like password to get in, and they find out that the password is Valley Forge. And while we were watching it, we were like, what is Valley Forge? So I looked it up. It says Valley Forge functioned as the third of 8 winter encampments for the Continental Army's main body, commanded by General George Washington during the American Revolutionary War.
That checks
Wow.
out because she had a huge hard on for Washington
Yeah.
with all those buttons.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, she
Yeah.
did, yeah. wow, character development. She loved George Washington
Wow.
and Nick Cage.
Well, I mean, yeah, because he also liked history.
Mm-hmm.
They're perfect for each other.
If the dad wasn't there, they were definitely gonna fuck on top of that treasure.
Yeah,
You
they
know?
didn't get. If Riley was there, fuck him.
Yeah, they
bro.
don't give a fuck about that
Hell
guy.
fucking fun of
Yeah.
Riley. They're like, haha, I bet you can't get this fucking nerd.
Yeah.
And everybody is like, ha ha ha, Riley sucks.
You fucking idiot, Riley.
Ha ha, no girl likes him.
And then they just cuck him on
I
top
like-
of the treasure.
yeah. I like the scene where he kisses the girl just like randomly while they're like exploring the
Yeah.
tombs, and like the goon behind him, he's like, why doesn't that happen to me?
That was a good moment.
That was one line where I was like, I did like that part.
Or I liked, there was the one line that Riley
Take
had
care
too.
of her, and they both say, "I will."
Yes, but that was a good one, but not the one I was thinking of. When they're like at the Declaration Gala or whatever, and Nick Cage goes up to her and Riley's like, "Is that hot girl?"
Oh, yeah. I also like how Nick Cage chugged the champagne.
Yeah,
That was a pretty sweet.
he
joke.
just slammed it.
I was thinking that'd also be funny, like, and like we like kind of steal that scene, but like it just keeps going on. Like he pulls like the natty out of his jacket and like pulls out his key and like shotguns it, and then he like someone like walks over with like a funnel or something like that.
Time to bong, Nick Cage.
And like
Time for your beer bong.
the girl and like the guy she's with are just like watching him like,
And then Riley like rolls up a keg on the thing, and he does a keg stand,
and he does the entire keg.
yeah.
And then,
And he
then
pukes
people
all over the
find-
Declaration of
see,
Independence.
People were about to think Riley was cool. They started chanting his name, and then he throws up, and they're like, "Riley,
And they're like,
God
"Aw."
damn it.
we knew you were a fucking gross dude."
And then everybody
God.
walks away because he's like on the floor.
One thing I thought was funny was when they first found the pipe in the Charlotte ship, and Ian was like, "Oh, so we just have to steal the Declaration of Independence? Trust me, I can do it. I'm a criminal."
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you literally just told them you're a massive criminal, and now you want them to be cool with working.
Yep. I need the prequel. I need to know how those two became friends.
They were poker buddies, and one of them
Did
was
they say that?
that the whole thing was like, "Come on, Ian, you know I can't bluff."
Oh yeah.
Well, and then there was something like, there was some line where it was like, "Wow, Ian, you're the only one that believed in me. Like,
Uh-huh.
thank you for investing your unlimited resources."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all the goons were also just like Scottish or whatever he was.
Isn't it weird that if he has all those unlimited resources, you'd think he wouldn't really need the
Get
money?
the treasure.
Exactly. That's a good point. I didn't
Kind
even
of
think
seems
of
like
that.
he's chilling on that.
Yeah, it's like if you could do all this, you could spend all this money. I think you'd be fine.
Like
Yeah.
with how much money you've invested
Like, it would
into
make-
finding this
yeah.
treasure, just like invest in stocks and let that money
Yeah.
grow.
Or you'd think that like if he put that much money into it, and he has that resources, he would be on the side of like, oh, for the people, you know,
Yeah.
find the
Yeah.
treasure for.
I
It would
already
be the
have
other
all this
way
money.
around,
Let's
yeah.
give it back.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
What if he really was just trying to donate the treasure the whole time?
Yeah.
But he was just willing to kill
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
exactly. He was just trying to make
That's
his
what I'm
mark
saying.
in
That's
history.
our protagonist. That's,
Yeah,
that's the
that is
angry
our person.
protagonist.
I like it. I like it. What was I gonna say? Oh, I really thought Sean Bean was gonna die because you know how he dies in everything.
Yeah.
I was disappointed that he didn't die.
Nobody died. It's a
Nobody
child-friendly
died.
movie. Actually, no. One person did die.
Yeah, he fell through all those stairs.
that's right.
Yeah.
And then they was like, "Do you think I care about any of your lives more than my homie guy that just fell to his death? We're going.
Yep.
We're going down."
Oh, what else was I gonna say? I can't remember what I was gonna
We
say.
got sidetracked.
Yeah. Maybe he'll return in the sequel.
I'd like
Well,
that.
In
How
the
old
show.
is? I feel like Nick Cage has got to be pretty old.
Well,
now.
Nick Cage is not. They've confirmed he's not going to be in the Disney Plus show.
What if it's all a ruse?
That could be all a ruse, but you know Disney. They would be all
Nick-
over
okay.
being like, Nicolas Cage is
Nick-
returning.
I'm just
Nick
saying
Cage
he already
is-
struggled enough just running in this movie. I don't think he can have a brisk walk in the new one.
He is his birthday is January 7th, and he's 58 years old.
Oh, he's not as old as I thought.
Yeah, he's not too
I
old.
thought he was like 65, 67.
Yeah.
Well, for the Disney Plus show, Riley is returning.
Is he actually?
Yep, he is returning, and Harvey Keitel, who was the FBI agent, is also returning for the Disney Plus show.
One thing I learned about American history is that 9 out of the 55 people who signed the Declaration of Independence were Masons, and that Masons and the Templar Order are still like within the FBI to this day.
Yeah, and then the Assassin's Creed and also the Templars.
Yep, exactly. You get it.
Yeah.
You get it.
And Assassin's Creed 3 was in the American Revolution.
And his name was Connor.
His name was
my
Connor.
God.
That was my favorite Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed game. I remember in middle school being like, oh my god, his name is Connor.
That was one of the more badass, like,
Jack, you're lucky. You get to have the name of like every single person.
that's also all the bad guys.
Is it? Yeah.
And then also, people call me Jackass sometimes.
Yeah.
Just 'cause it's easy.
Yeah.
That's a jack off, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sure there's more, but you
Yeah.
know, it's hard to think
Leave
of.
down in the comments below more.
I've repressed most of those memories, so yeah, if you could remind me, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Was there anything else you guys had? in
What
particular?
was the best Nicolas Cage moment?
I like when he
in the
kept
film?
rattling the
Yeah.
the map and like the little like thing. He's like, it's right here. It was just such a Nicolas Cage like moment. I was like, you're gonna need to overreact to that.
Yeah.
My other one I had two other Nicolas Cage moments was when we already said that he chugged the champagne
Yes.
glass, but the like treason speech that he gives before
Yeah,
that toast, that was a good moment.
Yeah.
too.
True.
And then the other one was when they found the bifocals or whatever. And he's like, this is an ocular device. I found an ocular device.
guys, I did it. I got the ocular device. That was a good scene.
And then right after they roast Riley again, because Riley says, "Oh, what are we supposed to do with it?" And Nick goes, "Look through it."
Come on, didn't I just say it was an ocular device?
Like 4 times, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, do you not know what ocular means?
Jeez.
I will say I was very invested in the movie up until the whole ocular device thing, and then once that's when it kind of like fell away from the American history part. I felt was when it was like they were getting chased by Ian, and then he got captured by the FBI, and then they went down into it, and like I don't know, that's where I kind of lost interest. Was a little bit.
They tied in him being a diver when
Well,
he
they
jumped
did.
off the ship. They mentioned it like 4 times in the movie, and he swam.
He did swim and he did dive.
Yep.
Because
that is kind of a genius escape route, isn't it? To have like
The
a fucking
diver
snorkel
under-
dude
yeah.
under there just with an extra air tank.
Especially in the murky ass water.
Yeah.
in the Hudson,
The Hudson.
good escape route.
No.
I
It
don't
was
know
clever.
enough
It
about
wasn't-
diving. Don't bubbles come up?
Yeah, but
From
they had like boats and shit. And
That's fair.
helicopter
Yeah,
and
that's
stuff,
fair.
And they were pretty deep.
That's
down
fair.
there.
That's fair.
And didn't the one guy have like a little like boat
The-
thing that
yeah,
they like
the
zoomed
moon-
off
yeah.
on,
Yeah.
the little submarine
jetpack.
thing? Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to see under there before they just like run into another boat.
Yeah.
Guys, over here!
We found him.
Yeah,
Just-
they
Their
really
dead bodies float up.
made it right next to where the guys were waiting in Jersey. Like, I feel like that's quite a swim.
Yeah.
And to like just get within like a quarter mile would have been impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
It was a good movie. Well,
I enjoy it. It is a good movie. It's not a bad movie at all.
I could definitely see myself watching it again.
Oh,
You
yes.
know, like,
Yeah.
not anytime soon, that's for sure. But
It's
like,
a harmless movie, right? It's a very
Uh-huh.
harmless movie.
it's definitely something I could see watching like with my kids or something
yeah,
in the future. You know.
100%.
Well, I gotta teach them about the true history of America. I don't know about
Exactly.
you guys, but they need to know the truth.
Don't listen to any of that shit your teacher tells you.
Listen to Nicolas
It's fake
Cage.
news. Nicolas Cage knows best.
No, he does.
I really want to watch the sequel now for this show.
Well, I guess we have another episode for a Nicolas Cage
Yeah.
season part 2.
Exactly. Well, and then I was looking up too that Disney does have National Treasure 3 and 4 trademarked. So,
I was about to say, I was like, there's a third one.
well, they have the show coming out, but I don't know if that counts. But they do already have the trademarks, so they could just do it whenever.
True.
I hope they do it. I hope they bring Nick Cage back. They have to have him back.
Make him the grumpy old dad that doesn't believe in his son.
Yeah.
Because that's the things with their fathers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you guys seen Seinfeld?
Oh, I love Seinfeld.
No, I've never seen Seinfeld.
Okay, well, I wanted to when after they left the dad's house duct taped, I wanted them to make a driving around in John Voight's car joke. That would have been good.
I haven't seen Seinfeld in a while. It's funny watching it. This is kind of going off topic, but it's like for anybody who hasn't watched it, if you like Always Sunny or Curb Your Enthusiasm, it's literally just like the first show of that. The first couple episodes are kind of tame, but it does get like edgy.
The Soup Nazi, bro.
The Soup Nazi is a fantastic
Phenomenal.
episode. Yeah.
There's a lot of episodes that are towing that line.
I like my favorite is when Jerry is dating this like Native American girl. And then like she keeps like thinking he's racist, but like for a bunch of different reasons, like out of like it's completely out of a circumstance, but like she just like perceives him as racist. And then Kramer at the end of the episode like drives by both of them, and he has like this huge like the fucking like Native American totem, you know, with like the eagles and stuff, and he's like, "Look what I got, Jerry!" Oh,
well, of course Kramer would do that.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys have anything else?
I think that's all for me. Yeah.
That's all my notes I had written down.
Me too.
Sweet. Well, thank you, Jack, for coming on to the
yes,
podcast.
thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
inviting me. I always enjoy talking Nick Cage.
Be sure to check out Cameron and I playing through Cuphead on the Darth Boopy channel.
Let me check what the next movie is. It is Adaptation.
Oh.
Is the next movie.
So watch that movie.
So watch that movie.
So you can listen to them talk about the movie that you watched, but with their smart ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's on HBO.
Easy access. Well, thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.